Welcome to the Agribusiness Global Update. I'm David Ferbata.
And I'm Rebecca Bartles.
This installment, we're focusing a bit on Latin America. Rebecca and I have been traveling before COVID to Central America and to other markets in LATAM as we continue to develop our trade summit this year as an online conference and trade show in September. And we're getting mostly positive feedback from the marketplace. Production systems appear to be intact. There have been minor disruptions in shipping early on, but those have mostly been remedied. And mostly predictable and ample supplies of crop inputs in the value chain.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, spending this time at home has given us all an opportunity to maybe meet with more companies than we were previously. And in a virtual format, we're able to meet with companies from all over the world in one day. And in those conversations, some of those companies have been saying that this is their most profitable year ever, or that they were seeing gains over last year, which is always positive, especially when there's so much disruption and scary stuff going on in the market. So all in all, to hear a positive story in agriculture as a result of it being an essential business is a good feeling.
There are a couple blemishes. Many are aware now of the Mexico situation where the Department of the Environment is forbidding the import of glyphosate and its precursors. We talked a little bit with some companies earlier this week, Rebecca. What else about that story is important?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. So companies have their registration for glyphosate. So they've got approval from the three major bodies that they need it from. And then they also need a small administrative paperwork that they didn't even want to call a permit. They just wanted to call it a license, just a small document with an administrative signature. And even if they had that, some companies, they got their shipment all the way from China. It arrived at the port in Mexico, and they were told to turn it around and send it back. So they had all of the proper paperwork, and this is a continuing issue. And what it sounds like is there is, some government entities that are wanting to overhaul the approved product list in Mexico. And instead of doing it through the proper channels and following the proper administrative steps to actually achieve that, they appear to just be saying, bye, you can't have glyphosate here, even if you follow the proper procedures. So the companies and associations that we've talked to in Mexico over the last couple of days, they're working really hard to find a way around this and to rally and to make the government, A, see the need for this product. The Mexican agriculture is in many ways reliant on it, but B, just kind of make sure everybody's being black and white about what's approved and what's not.
Yeah, so what was a minor administrative hurdle, applying for a simple import license, has become a mechanism in which they're banning not only glyphosate, but the precursors for glyphosate. So it's creating a problem at the formulation facilities as well. The good news is there's enough product in the value chain to supply farmers probably through the rest of the year. But if something doesn't change to that policy fairly soon, 2021 could pose some challenges there. Some other shipping and logistical problems or challenges coming out of India and China as that trade dispute and possible border dispute heats up, and imports from China to India are hitting a snag.
Yeah, there were a couple weeks not too long ago where China was sending all of their packages as planned to India, and India was holding everything at most of the main ports for inspection, they were saying. And it was taking days and weeks to clear some of these shipments, and with no express reason to hold them, there were a lot of question marks about how long this would take. It is starting to clear up in most of the major ports, but as we know, sometimes a week delay can turn into a month delay downstream for the recipients of those final products from India. So like Dave said, everyone seems to think that this is largely in part because of this border dispute. India's taken other actions against China as well, such as banning some major consumer applications like TikTok, for example. So it just seems like there's a lot of tension there, and it's highly affecting agriculture because of the China-India interdependence with the sharing of materials.
Yeah. There are some disruptions with currencies as well. As economies stumble amid COVID, we're seeing some currency deflations in various markets, which is changing trade terms and changing the ownership of the risk to those terms. depending on what companies are importing or exporting. It's creating a little bit more risk for importing companies and some manufacturers as well. We'll have more on these issues and others from around the world at the Trade Summit coming up in September.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everyone. The event is virtual for obvious reasons this year. So from September 21 to 25, we're going to be bringing the delegation together. It's pacing to be bigger than ever because people don't have to spend the time to travel, the hotel. We're just really looking forward to providing a meeting place for the industry at a time when people can't get together, and we're happy to serve as that vessel.
We're looking forward to seeing you there. Learn more about trends affecting the entire crop input value chain at agribusinessglobal.com.